everything I can about the manufacturing side of things, everything I can about supply chain logistics, and down to like the thank you cards that go in our boxes. I'm just so big on being across every detail of a small business, so that when we do get to the stage where some things need to be outsourced, I know what I expect, what I want. And yeah, I think my advice would be to just start, learn as much as you can, try and have your foot in every little door, and yeah, just do it. Why not?
Just go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Welcome, everyone, to F5 Collective Presents Women in Business. And today we are featuring Ashley Bradley of Palma Eyewear. She's the co-founder. Ashley is another one of our Australian founders. Really excited to be presenting her to you. And you will learn more about the beautiful eyewear and how she has really taken this and created a really affordable, gorgeous pair of sunglasses for everybody. Check it out. Hello, Ashley.
Hello.
How are you? How are you doing?
Linda. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for
I really
having me.
appreciate it. Oh, absolutely. Now, okay, so we're going to get into Palma and when it started and all of that, but I'm curious about your upbringing and your background and what even led to you wanting to start your own business. Was there something in your childhood or?
I wouldn't say anything in my childhood. I come from a family of probably more academics than creatives, and I'm sort of the black sheep. When I finished university, which I did law at uni, so something totally unrelated to creativity, and then I kind of got my first break working for House and Garden magazine in the styling team, and that's where I sort of developed my love of creativity and aesthetics and creating beautiful things. And then from there, it kind of became a natural progression to do my own thing after having children.
Wow. So what led to Palma, especially? I mean, they're sunglasses, right? They're really beautiful.
So we do eyewear, and we also have a range of accessories. So sarongs, sun hats, tote bags, caps and hair clips. But sunglasses is our main thing. And really I just sort of felt like I was always looking for the right sunglasses. Like I was the customer, and there was this gap in the market between, you want good quality sunglasses, polarized lens sunglasses, and you're either paying designer prices, $700-$800, or you're getting really bad quality that offered like virtually no UV protection at that more affordable price point. And I just thought there has to be a middle spot where I could create something that women love to wear and it's really good quality and really protective of the eyes. And that's sort of how Palma was born.
So did you tap into your creativity and really decide this is how I want to really design this? And
I've always loved design. I've always loved being, I think like you either have a natural sort of being ahead of the curve of design or you don't. Yeah. And that I'm lucky that I sort of have that. And when I had children, it was harder to go back into magazines. That world is obviously sort of on the decline anyway, but I wanted to do something for myself that gave me flexibility to raise my kids and have a career at the same time. Sunglasses became the idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that you also, you work within the Chinese market. So you have a lot of engagement with that. And it feels like there might be I don't know if there's a magic formula to being able to navigate it, but I'm curious, what is there and how do you navigate it?
No, there's not a magic formula. China's incredible, really. They have the highest quality materials. They are so willing to work with you and create what you want to create. I'm a very detail-oriented person. Mm-hmm. I will check over every little aspect of our glasses, every little, down to like the markings, how our name's printed on it, every little thing. And China is so amenable to that. And they are really at the forefront of technology. And so I've absolutely loved working with China. I do think there are some sort of hurdles you have to get around in the beginning. There's obviously a language barrier. But really, if you find the right suppliers and really test the product, get as many samples as you can. And then it's all about building a good relationship with them, I think, you know, treating them as a friend and making it mutually beneficial for both of you. And yeah, you get really good things out of that.
Yeah, this is great because it feels like, well, it doesn't feel like there is this interesting misconception that going to China means you're getting less than. And you're debunking this, really.
Absolutely. I think the quality look, I'm sure there are suppliers over there where you don't get that quality, but if you really hunt for what you want and don't settle for less, then you can definitely find it out of China. A lot of even sunglasses where they say made in Italy, often the parts are made in China and they're assembled in Italy.
Got it.
So yeah, really, they do know what they're doing and they have sort of nailed the manufacturing of eyewear, I think.
Wow.
And as long as like we're really big on, you know, polarized lenses they come in different categories, category 1, 2, 3, 4. So depending on how dark the lens is, that will offer the protection, the category kind of. So we're really big on, we get the testing results from China, but we also independently test them in Australia.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
With APSANA, which is a nuclear protection government agency in Australia. So just to make sure we do our own research on our lenses and make sure that they pass every test. And there are, you know, 'cause Australia has really high standards for that. We're under the ozone layer. And we need to make sure that we're offering the best quality. Yeah.
So for folks that want to, for somebody who wanted to get involved in that kind of business, because what I love so much about what you said is really making sure that what you're providing is something that's genuinely going to help somebody. So you're having it tested. How did you crack that? What was the process that you went through to get involved with the nuclear agency and all of those? And when did you determine how you needed to do that?
So we just wanted to cover every base. Like I didn't want to put something out there that I didn't have the backing behind me, the paperwork behind me. That's the legal side of my brain. You know, to prove that what we were selling, it is what it is. Because I do think a lot of the time you buy something and, you know, you feel like it's not what you asked for, it's not what you thought you were getting. So we just did our research. We had a really great lawyer involved and who sort of advised us on who to go to. And they're actually located in Melbourne and they've been amazing. And we send all our pairs down to them. They do thorough testing on them all. And actually every single one has come back with the same result as China.
Wow.
So there hasn't been any discrepancies in what the lens category is. So it's really trustworthy.
That's really excellent.
Yeah.
That is. Do you only sell in Australia or?
We ship worldwide.
Okay.
It's become a little bit harder with the States, with the tariffs, but we're sort of working that out at the moment. We do ship worldwide, but at the moment we're really focused on the Australian market.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. What have been, now as you've been doing this and really getting the business up, how long has Palma been in business?
Only a year.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
We just had our 1-year anniversary. Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. It's been an amazing first year.
That's incredible. So what have been some of the biggest hurdles as you've been kicking this off this year, and how have you hurdles and challenges, and how have you addressed those?
Yeah. So big hurt. I mean, for me personally, it's been the juggle between motherhood and starting a business, which I'm sure every female founder who's a mother would say. But, you know, I've sort of learned to, when I giving my kids my time, that's what I do. And when I'm giving the business my time, that's what I do. And you just kind of have to make it work as best you can.
Yeah.
Also, you know, that obviously small hurdles with manufacturing in the start, getting to know the suppliers, making sure we've got the right suppliers, because we don't just deal with one supplier. Our sunglasses come from one, our cleaning cloths come from another,
right?
Our boxes come from another, our tissue paper comes from another.
Yeah,
it's like that. Our hats and sarongs, everything comes from everywhere. So it's just making sure that everything's sort of working in time. Yeah.
I love that kind of compartmentalizing with your work plus life balance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And figuring that out.
Yeah. And I think for women, that's something that we're faced with, that we just have to deal with. And trying to take the guilt out of it as best you can is really important, I think. You know, I want my daughter especially to see that her mom's capable of building a business and having it go somewhere. So yeah, sometimes that does mean my time's taken away from them a little bit, but I try and balance that back out as best I can.
Yeah. Well, what have been some of your biggest successes, and how, what would you say was the thing that made you say, okay, I think I'm on the right track? I really do.
There've been a few sort of smaller ones, and they kind of build. When we've got our first set of samples from the supplier we ended up going with, I was like, okay, these are really good. The quality feels amazing. And that's something that we get such good feedback about from our customers. They can't believe that at our price point, that when they arrive, that the quality feels like a designer pair of sunglasses. So that, feeling that quality of our final supplier, that was a real sort of aha moment. And then the other one that really sticks in my head is the first time I saw someone wearing them in public that I didn't know. So, you know, when we first launched, our friends and family were so supportive, and lots of the orders came from them. And then sort of you grow your following in the business. And I remember being down at Bondi, and I was in the queue for a Ferris wheel ride with my kids, and the woman like 3 in front of me was wearing our black Londons. And I just remember thinking like, oh, wow, that's like such a moment. I don't know this woman. She looks amazing in them. She looks like she feels confident. And it felt like, okay, this could be something.
That's so, and you know, it's so interesting. You think to yourself, you know, we as just a layperson, I'm thinking, how would you even recognize it? But it belongs to you, right? And you've committed so much to this, and you know every item, everything. And
absolutely. And as I said, I'm big on details, so I can spot them. But that is one thing with China that we've been so careful to protect our IP with every pair. So we own that design.
That's excellent.
And, really look after that. Yeah.
So for women, anyone really, but really more for a woman who really felt like, I want to take this passion of mine or this interest of mine, or I want to enter business. I really want to pursue this. And especially considering, I feel like the fashion space tends to have its own unique kind of challenges to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, I think can be hard to break into. I'm really big on growing intentionally. I'm not really interested in something I do going viral and getting 100,000 followers who are not actually interested in my brand or the community I'm trying to build. I'm more interested in growing slowly and intentionally and putting out products that I care about and that women feel amazing in. For my advice, I suppose, would be to just start. Like, you know, I started from my kitchen table. My son was 5 months old. Like, there was, you know, everything happening all around me, but I just started, and I started researching, and I learned as much as I could. Have become a jack of all trades in this business. You know, I've done short courses on meta advertising and how to build my own ads, and, you know, just trying to learn everything I can about the manufacturing side of things, everything I can about supply chain logistics, and down to like the thank you cards that go in our boxes. I'm just so big on being across every detail of a small business. So that when we do get to the stage where some things need to be outsourced, I know what I expect, what I want. And I think my advice would be to just start, learn as much as you can, try and have your foot in every little door, and just do it. Why not?
Just go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to share? Any other advice? Any last words you would like to say?
I think that I'm just so honoured to be involved with F5. I think that what F5 are doing for women in business is incredible, giving us a platform, creating a community where it can be really lonely starting your own business and not having anyone to bounce ideas off. And this is such an amazing opportunity to be put with like-minded female founders who are not competitors, you know, who are in the jewelry business or the art business or handbags or something, and we're not fighting for the same sale, but we do have the same customer. And so we are able to bounce ideas off each other and grow all together. And I just think there's space for everyone. There's room for everyone. And yeah, I'm so grateful to be a part of that.
That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah, your community is, because it can be very lonely.
It can be so lonely if when you're working from home. I mean, the benefits of working from home when you've got young kids is you're around for school drop off and pick up and to do, sport and all those things. But yeah, then you are alone a lot of the time until we kind of scale and can grow the business, which I hope we can in the future. But,
right.
Yeah, it's really nice to be put with other women through F5 to talk about things.
Well, excellent. I want to be able to come back to you because this is just 1 year.
Yeah, we're
so
just
are you okay
started.
if we kind of come back and check on you again?
I'd love that.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, hopefully we're growing lots. And
you'll be huge. There'll be like a billboard on Sunset Boulevard.
Oh,
that'll
be
amazing. Remember Ashley? Yeah.
Hopefully our next catch up can be in LA with you.
Yes.
I'll
love to show you around. That'd be great. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you so much for
wonderful.
having me. Thank you.
For sure. Thank you again for joining us for F5 Collective Presents Women in Business and for learning more about Ashley Bradley and Palma Eyewear. Check out the website. The link is in the description below, and we look forward to seeing you next time.